Welcome, my dark-hearted devotees, to the Eldritch Hour, the show where shadows breathe and myths awaken, and the veil between reality and the unimaginable wears thin. I am your host, Lilith Fury, the Eldritch Queen of Horror, and tonight we're slipping on a pair of lenses that just might reveal more than you ever bargained for. Imagine looking through a simple piece of glass, expecting darkness, silhouettes, or perhaps the faint outline of an enemy in the dead of night. But instead, you see something else. Shapes that don't belong, forms that flicker, twist, and leer back at you from beyond the human spectrum. What if the first night vision goggles didn't just help soldiers see in the dark, but also showed them something far more darker? Tonight, we delve into the forbidden history of Dicyanin Glass, a strange material so otherworldly that the government supposedly banned its use, a substance rumored to reveal not just auras, but demons. Let's begin. Dicyanin Glass isn't your typical piece of optical equipment. Originally, it wasn't even meant for night vision. The origins lie in the early 20th century, tied to the strange experiments of spiritualists, psychics, and fringe scientists obsessed with uncovering the invisible. Dicyanin itself is a synthetic dye discovered in the late 19th century. It's a dark blue chemical compound that absorbs light in specific wavelengths, particularly near the infrared range. This made it fascinating to early researchers dabbing in optics, especially those interested in the idea that beyond the visible spectrum might lie something else. Enter Dr. Walter John Kilner, a British physician working at St. Thomas Hospital in London. In 1911, he published The Human Atmosphere, claiming that with the aid of Dicyanin glass, he could see and study the human aura, a colorful energy field supposedly surrounding all living things. Kilner's experiments suggested that by peering through specially treated Dicyanin filters, that the normally invisible layers of the aura could become visible. But what Kilner saw was tame compared to what would come later. Fast forward to the 1940s. The world is at war. Nations are desperate for technological advances, and night vision is a game changer. Early prototypes of night vision devices experimented with all kinds of materials to enhance low light visibility. Some military researchers reportedly incorporated Dicyanin-coated lenses due to their sensitivity to near-infrared light. And that's when things started to get strange. Eyewitness accounts, whispers buried in classified files, and veteran testimonies speak of soldiers who saw more than the enemy combatants through their night vision goggles. They described shadowy figures that moved unnaturally, often ignoring the laws of physics. Shapes that didn't register on radar, didn't cast shadows, and most disturbingly, weren't visible to the naked eye when the goggles were removed. One anonymous veteran from the U.S. Army, whose testimony surfaced on obscure paranormal forums in the early 2000s, describes his experience during a nighttime reconnaissance mission in Europe. At first, I thought it was a trick of the light, maybe smoke or a reflection. But these things, they had shape. Tall, thin, almost human, but wrong. Their joints bent backwards, their faces like stretched masks with black holes for eyes. We thought it was an enemy trick until one of them walked straight through a wall. The worst part? They were looking at us. They knew we could see them. Such an account led to growing concern among military personnel. Some soldiers reportedly refused to use the equipment after repeated sightings, claiming that the figures would appear closer each time they looked. Shortly after, the military discontinued the use of Dicyanin-based optics. The official reason? Inefficiency and optical distortion. But conspiracy theorists believe the real reason was much darker. The goggles didn't just see in the dark. They peeled back the curtain on something humanity was never meant to witness. Modern night vision goggles use green phosphor displays, a change often associated with technical reasons. Green light is easier on human eyes, allowing for longer periods of use without strain. It also provides better contrast, making it easier to distinguish objects in low light. But to those who believe in the Dicyanin conspiracy, this was more than just a design upgrade. The shift to green lenses wasn't about efficiency. It was about concealment. By changing the materials and filtering wavelengths differently, the new technology conveniently stopped revealing the entities seen with earlier models. The eerie coincidences pile up. No reports of shadow figures, no more unexplained sightings, just green-tinted sanitized darkness. But the story doesn't end there. If Dicyanin glass was so dangerous or so revealing, why not ban it outright? Here's where the conspiracy deepens. True Dicyanin dye is extremely difficult to obtain today. It's not commercially available due to its toxicity and the specialized conditions required to produce it. Some claim the government has restricted the production, citing health hazards, but others whisper of a cover-up, suggesting that the real reason is to keep the material and its terrifying capabilities out of civilian hands. Despite this, aura goggles, claiming to mimic Dicyanin's effects, are available in niche spiritual markets. Advertised as tools for seeing energy fields, these modern devices are pale imitations. Experts in optics and chemistry both agree. They don't contain actual Dicyanin. They use cheaper, less effective dyes or tinted glass that filters light differently. Dr. Dean Radin, chief scientist at the Institute of Noetic Sciences, has commented on the limitations of such devices. While certain filters can enhance visual contrast or create interesting optical illusions, they don't enable you to see anything outside the electromagnetic spectrum detectable by the human eye. Claims of seeing auras or other phenomena are likely psychological or suggestive effects rather than genuine optical abnormalities. But not everyone agrees. Paranormal investigator Rosemary Ellen Goley, before her passing in 2019, expressed interest in the potential of aura vision devices. In one interview, she suggested, "It's not just about the technology. It's about the observer's state of mind. Altered states, whether through meditation, suggestion, or technology, can sometimes open doorways, not just metaphorically, but literally. We don't fully understand how consciousness interacts with reality." So what exactly were those soldiers seeing through their Dicyanin lenses? Theories abound. 1. Interdimensional beings. Some believe the goggles accidentally tuned into a parallel dimension, revealing entities that coexist with us but remain invisible, unless you know how to look. 2. Demons and spirits. For the religious or spiritually inclined, the figures were literal demons. 3. Psychological phenomena. Skeptics argue that stress, fear, and suggestion could explain the sightings. The brain is a powerful thing, especially in life or death situations. 4. Government experimentation. A darker theory suggests the sightings were intended, that the military was testing not just night vision, but psychological warfare, using technology to manipulate perception. While Dicyanin glass remains an obscure reference, echoes of its legend appear in horror fiction and conspiracy lore. The concept of seeing hidden entities with special lenses has inspired films like They Live from 1988, where sunglasses reveal alien overlords controlling humanity through subliminal messages. Paranormal documentaries and YouTube channels occasionally reference Dicyanin in discussions about forbidden technology and suppressed discoveries. So, dear listeners, as we draw the curtain on tonight's tale, consider this. What if our eyes don't show us the truth, but merely a comfortable illusion? What if, with the right lens, we could see the universe as it really is? Layer upon layer of visible and invisible, the known and the unknowable. Maybe it's better that Dicyanin Glass is out of reach, or maybe someone, somewhere, is still looking through it right now. If you could look through such a lens, would you dare? Or are you content with the shadows staying where they belong? This has been the Eldritch Hour. I am Lilith Fury, your Eldritch Queen of Horror. And if you enjoyed tonight's descent into darkness, share your thoughts, your fears, and your theories. Do you believe the government is hiding the truth about Dicyanin Glass? Have you ever seen something that you weren't supposed to see? Comment, subscribe, and join me again, where we'll peel back the layers of reality and see what's truly lurking underneath. So until then, keep your eyes open and maybe, just maybe, don't trust what you see.